Hey, shalom, shalom. Israel. It's Officer Jazz, IUIC Philly. All right. And the title for today's class is Strengthening the Spirit from Within, or Strengthening the Spirit Within. I think I like Strengthening the Spirit Within. All right. So today's class we're gonna go into a couple of scriptures as far as, and look, when I do a class, like this class is for me as well. This class is for me as well. I'm kind of land backing off of Deacon Malachi. Deacon Malachi did a class called Being Spiritual Militant. All right. It was called Being Spiritual Militant. All right. Very, very good class. So I took a lot away from that class, as far as myself, examining doing a self-examining and so forth. All right. So that was a good class to self-examine, the different ways we carry ourselves, the way we speak, the way we walk, talk, and so forth and so on in this truth, as, building ourselves up in the spirit and the different spirits that we have on us. And he went into what was called projected weakness. All right. He went into what was called projected weakness. All right. So I'm going to land back. I want to land back a little bit off that class because, like I said, I took a lot from that class as far as myself as well. All right. So I just wanted to put a class together and go into a couple of scriptures concerning building ourselves up, building our spirit up from within. All right. Give me 1 Samuel's. Let's start. Give me 1 Samuel's. Matter of fact, first, I like to start with Romans 15:20. Romans 15:4. Real quick. Romans 15:4.
Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Read it again.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
So the things that was written before time, meaning before us, was written for our learning. Okay? So the things, meaning what? The things that our forefathers went through, their trials, their tribulations, how they overcame them. All right? So those things, we are to go and read about them. That's history. That's our history. Okay? If you didn't know, the Bible is our history. So now we're able to look into the Bible. So whatever trials and tribulations we're going through, we're able to go through these scriptures and see how our forefathers dealt with it. Or even how they foremothers dealt with certain trials and tribulations that they were going through. Okay? Read that again.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Right, read.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
Right, so that we, through patience and comfort of these scriptures, might have hope. The Bible, the only thing that's going to give us hope. Okay? It's the only thing that's going to give us hope. We can look into this Bible, because guess what? The way we dealt with problems in the world, when we was in the world, okay, the way we dealt with it was with emotions. Any issues we had in the world, we dealt with it through emotions. Okay? So now we could come to this Bible and say, damn, my forefather, he dealt with this. King David, he dealt with this. Okay? Solomon, he dealt with this. Job, he dealt with this. All right? So we can go to our forefathers in these scriptures, and whatever trials and tribulations we're going through, we can look for examples through the Bible. All right? Through the Bible. Okay? Now, give me 1 Samuel 10:6.
1 Samuel.
So this is the basis of the class right here. 1 Samuel 10:6.
1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
And the Spirit of the Lord will come upon thee, and thou shalt prophesy with them, and shalt be turned into another man.
It should be what?
Turned into another man.
Right. So the Spirit of the Lord was to come upon Saul, and he was to be changed into another man. All right. But what type of man was Saul before the Lord changed him into another man? Give me 1 second. Find me where he was to become king.
1 Samuel
chapter 9. Start at chapter 9.
1 Samuel
9:1.
chapter 9, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
so we're going to go through a little history real quick with King Saul. Go ahead.
Now there was a man of Benjamin whose name was Kish, the son of Abiel, the son of Zeror, the son of Bechorath, the son of Ephraim, a Benjamite.
And what?
A Benjamite.
So Saul was a Benjamite. Read.
A mighty man of power. And
So Saul's line, they were from the tribe of Benjamin. Read.
And he had a son whose name was Saul, a choice young man and a goodly.
So he was handsome. He was a choice young man and a goodly. Goodly meaning what? He was handsome. Read.
And there was not among the children of Israel a goodlier person than he.
So there was not among the children of Israel a more handsome person than Saul. Read.
From his shoulders and upward, he was higher than any of the people.
So he was taller than most. Go ahead.
And the asses of Kish, Saul's father, were lost.
Read.
And Kish said to Saul his son, take now one of the servants with thee, and arise, go seek the asses. And he passed through Mount Ephraim, and passed through the land of Shalisha, but they found them not. Then they passed through the land of Shalem, and there they were not. And he passed through the land of the Benjamites, but they found them not.
Jump to verse 15.
Verse 15. Now the Lord had told Samuel in his ear a day before Saul came, saying, tomorrow about this time I will send thee a man out of the land of Benjamin, and thou shalt anoint him to be captain over my people Israel.
So Saul was to be captain or king over Israel. Read.
That he may save my people out of the hand of the Philistines. For I have looked up.
Because we was in captivity once again under the Philistines. We stayed in captivity under the Philistines. All right, go ahead.
For I have looked upon my people, because their cry is come unto me. And when Samuel saw Saul, the Lord said unto him, behold, the man whom I spake to thee of, this same shall reign over my people. Then Saul drew near to Samuel in the gate and said, tell me, I pray thee, where the seer's house is.
So the seer is the prophet. The seer is the prophet. All right. Meaning what? The word seer, you see the root of it is see. What? Because they could see into the future. That's what the prophets could do. All right. So at that time, they were called seers. Go ahead.
And Samuel answered Saul and said, I am the seer. Go up before me unto the high place, for ye shall eat with me today. And tomorrow I will let thee go, and will tell thee all that is in thine heart. And as for thine asses that were lost 3 days ago, set not thy mind on them, for they are found, and on whom is all the desire of Israel? Is it not on thee and on all thy father's house? And Saul answered and said, am not I a Benjamite, of the smallest of the tribes of Israel? And my family the least of all the families of the tribe of Benjamin.
What verse you at?
Verse 21.
Read 20. Read 20 again.
And as for thine asses that were lost 3 days ago, set not thy mind on them, for they are found. And on whom is all the desire of Israel?
Read.
Is it not on thee and on all thy father's house? And Saul answered and said, am not I a Benjamite?
So Saul said, am not I a Benjamite? Read.
Of the smallest of the tribes of Israel?
Of the smallest of the tribes of Israel, because meaning what? Benjamin was the smallest tribe. Go ahead.
And my family the least of all the families of the tribe of Benjamin.
Uh-huh.
Wherefore then speakest thou so to me?
So why are you talking to me? Go ahead.
And Samuel took Saul and his servant and brought them into the parlor and made them sit in the chiefest place among them that were bidden, which were about 30 persons. And Samuel said unto the cook, bring the portion which I gave thee, of which I said unto thee, set it by thee. And the cook took up the shoulder and that which was upon it, and set it before Saul. And Samuel said, behold, that which is left, set it before thee and eat. For unto this time hath it been kept for thee, since I said, I have invited the people. So Saul did eat with Samuel that day. And when they were come down from the high place into the city, Samuel communed with Saul upon the top of the house. And they arose early, and it came to pass about the spring of the day that Samuel called Saul to the top of the house, saying, up, that I may send thee away. And Saul arose, and they went out, both of them, he and Samuel abroad.
Right. Go ahead.
And as they were going down to the end of the city, Samuel said to Saul, bid the servant pass on before us. And he passed on. But stand thou still a while, that I may show thee the word of God.
Hey, find me now where the Lord said, 1 second. I think it's in chapter 15, where Saul started to go off, and Samuel and it was where Saul, he had low self-esteem. That's what I want. Where he had low self-esteem.
1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 17. And Samuel said, when thou wast little in thine own sight.
This is what I wanted. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Read again.
And Samuel said, when thou wast little in thine own sight, was thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel?
So what does it mean when he said, when thou was little in your own sight? Meaning he had low self-esteem. Very low self-esteem. Okay. So he was handsome, he was tall, but he had low self-esteem. He was little in his own sight. That's what that's going into. Read it again.
And Samuel said, when thou wast little in thine own sight, was thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel?
Read.
And the Lord anointed thee king over Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord sent thee on a journey and said, go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed.
So why I wanted this is because Saul had low self-esteem. He was little. That's what it means. He was little in his own sight. He didn't see himself as being a king. He didn't see himself as being that. So that's what it means. He's little in his own sight. He had low self-esteem. So, but the Lord, now go back to 1 Samuel 10 and 6. Because a lot of us, before we came into this truth, we had low self-esteem. We had low self-esteem in the world. All right. Now that we come into this truth, the Lord is putting that spirit on us to build up our self-esteem. Now we know that Christ is a black man. Now we know that God is black. The angels is black. All the prophets in the Bible black. Now that we know that, now we building up our self-esteem. Okay, now we don't have time for that low self-esteem stuff, that depressing state that our people in. But before we came into this truth, yes, we had that low self-esteem because we think everything is white. So if everything is white, then what about our people? So now we look at each other with what? Hatred. Because of that low self-esteem, we look at each other with hatred, want to kill each other, rob each other, stab each other, steal from each other, lie to each other, swear to each other. These are the things we do. All right? Because why? We see ourselves as being little in our own sight. All right? So, but coming into this truth, give me 1 Samuel 10 and 6.
1 Samuel chapter 10 verse 6.
Read.
And the Spirit of the Lord will come upon thee,
and
thou shalt prophesy with them, and shalt be turned into another man.
So once you come in this truth, the Spirit of the Lord come upon you, and guess what? You become changed into another man. So we all got to aspire to be changed into another man. This is something we must aspire to become, changed into another man. It don't happen overnight. These are things we still working towards. I'm still working towards it. Being changed into another man, that repentance, becoming a man of the Lord in this truth. Okay, so when that spirit come upon you, you become changed into another man. You put off that weak nature, you put off that weak state, put off that low self-esteem. All right, why? Because this is your book. This is our history. So we got to put off that weak nature. But let me tell you what that low self-esteem came from. Give me Hosea 3 and 4. Hosea chapter 3, verse 4.
The book of Hosea chapter 3, verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image.
You see that? So we abide many days. Okay, without a what? Read it again.
For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king.
So we abide many days without a king.
And without a prince.
Without a prince.
And without a sacrifice.
Now understand, we ruled the Dark Ages. We ruled for nearly 1,000 years. We had kingdoms set up on the earth. Even before that, you got with King David, King Solomon. Okay, we ruled during that time period. We had the kingdom. We ruled for what, 80 years. But during the Dark Ages, we ruled for nearly 1,000 years. We had kingdoms set up on the earth in Europe, Russia, Spain, okay, Britain. All right. Even in Africa, we had what? The Ghanaian Empire, Songhai Empire. the Mali Empire. We had empires set up in Africa. Even Northern Kingdom. You had the Incas, the Aztecs. All right, so you had Issachar and Asher and so forth, and even Gad. They all had their various empires that was set up on this side of the world. We ruled. But guess what? We will abide. Read it again.
For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king and without a prince.
So guess what? Once we went into slavery, once we came over here on those slave ships, we would have no king. We would have no what?
Without a prince.
We would have no prince. Why? Because they would go in slavery. Our king and princes would go into slavery for breaking God's laws. Read.
And without a sacrifice.
Read.
And without an image.
And our image was lost. Our image was lost. Okay. The fact that Christ was a black man, that was lost to us. We lost that. We just not getting it back. So now why? Because from slavery on up to even our people that's in the world today, they still think Christ is a white man. But we getting that image back. We getting that true image of our Lord back. That he's a black man, that God is black, the angels is black, the prophets is black. But we will abide many days without that image. So guess what? Abiding many days without the image, we see ourselves as little in our own sight. We feel as though we can't be. Only thing we see ourselves being is playing sports, rapping. That's it. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a rapper. I want to play ball. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to play ball. That's it. Because that's all I could see myself doing. I got to make it out the hood. I got to get up out of here. That's what these kids are. That's what our people, our children today, this generation, that's all they're aspiring to do is either rap or play some type of sports or whatever. All right? But read it one more time. Read it one more time.
For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image.
And without a image. How did that happen? Give me Jeremiah 17:4. How did that happen? Jeremiah 17:4.
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4.
Read.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
So the Lord he even talking to Jeremiah. He letting Jeremiah know you will discontinue from your heritage as well as your people. Go ahead, read it again.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
What is our heritage?
Sirach chapter 17 verse 11.
Read.
Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage.
Read again.
Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage.
So the Lord gave us knowledge and the law of life for an heritage. Knowledge and the law of life for an heritage. Now go back to Jeremiah.
Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 4.
Read.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger.
So we would serve our enemies in a land we would know not. So we lost our language. Okay. So we lost our language, the way we dress. All right. So we lost these things. Our high holy days. Okay. We lost our image. These are the things we lost, okay, once we came over here in slavery. That was part of our heritage. That's part of our culture. This Bible is our culture. But we lost it once we broke God's laws. All right? Now, from there. Now let's get into, give me Sirach 19:29. We're going to start there. Sirach 19:29.
Sirach chapter 19 verse 29.
Because like I said before, when we read about King Saul, he was little in his own sight. All right, he didn't see himself as being great. Like many of our people today, they don't see us as being a great people. Because why? Esau put the image out that we some monkeys or something hanging from trees and jumping from tree to tree at some savagery and so forth. That's the picture that's being painted of our people. All right. So naturally, what's going to happen? We're going to think of ourselves as little in our own sight. We're going to see ourselves as being nothing. We don't see ourselves as being somebody great. That we was the greatest people that ever walked the face of the earth. We do not see that. When you go out on the street, when you go out on the streets and teach, and you tell our people that, look, the kingdom of heaven for you, they can't see themselves without the white man. They can't see themselves without the Chinese man, the Arab man. Well, where are they going to be at? What's going to happen to them? They can't come? No, they can't come. The kingdom ain't for them. This man kills us every day, any chance he can get. He put his hands on us. They hate our guts, but now you want them to rule with you again? But that's because our people can't see themselves being great, ruling the earth. All right? Like we once did. All right? So give me that. Sirach 19:29.
Sirach chapter 19, verse 29.
Uh-huh.
A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance when thou meetest him.
Right. So a man may be known by his look and understanding through his countenance when you meet him. So you can see a brother. That's why when leadership, they'll see a brother. You can tell what type of spirit's on brothers. Okay? You see what type of character he had, this brother's character. When you meet him. Go ahead, read it again.
A man may be known by his look.
So a man could be known just by looking at him. Go ahead.
And one that hath understanding by his countenance.
And one that have understanding by his countenance. You see, brothers, that's why the scriptures say be grave, be serious. Okay? Be grave, be serious. You could tell by a brother's countenance that he got understanding. Go ahead.
When thou meetest him, a man's attire.
So now a man's attire, the way you dress. Okay, go ahead.
And excessive laughter.
For example, you see some of these young, we call them YNs, this generation, right? You see them with the ski masks. I don't care how hot it is. They have these, they call them what, poo shiesty ski masks or whatever the case is. But no matter how hot it is, they got these damn ski masks on. All right? Their jeans below they behind. All right? The way they walk, carry themselves. You like, yo, these brothers ain't serious. You can't be serious. Walking around like that. That's why these other nations don't take us serious. Our sisters walking around, blonde hair. Okay, showing pretty much all their body. Today, that's what they showing. They showing pretty much all their body. These nations don't take us serious. We always fighting, arguing. This is what we do as a people. Always want to party. Okay, want to rap, whatever, joke, clown. This is what the other nations see us do. Matter of fact, give me that. Deuteronomy 28. And I think it's 37. Yes, read that.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So we will become an astonishment. Look up the word astonishment. We will become an astonishment. Look up the word astonishment. Astonishment. Read that.
Astonishment, great surprise.
A great surprise. Why is it saying great surprise? Because why? We used to rule the earth. We were once a great people. So now the nations look at us. So the Lord is letting us know this is going to be a curse that's going to happen, that's going to be put on us. That the nations are going to look at us with astonishment, at a great surprise. Like, damn, look at these people. They was once great people. They once knew how to carry themselves, knew how to dress, knew how to talk. But now we are a great surprise. We're in astonishment. We are wondered at. Read some of the synonyms.
Amazement, surprise.
So we're in amazement. Go ahead.
Shock.
We shock. They look at us with shock. They like, damn.
Stupefaction.
Like, for example, I remember it's a video with a sister. She said the time that, I think it was 1985, she said she was working And she said she remember when we became African Americans. She said she remember when that term African Americans was put on us. And Esau, she worked with Edomites, and one of the Edomites was like, they don't know who they are. She said they don't know who they are. That's an astonishment, man. Because they know who we once were. But our people don't know that. So now we get these different titles. We get these different names: colored, black, Negro, African American. Okay, so now we become an astonishment. We lost our God-given names. We lost our God-given sense. Read on.
Stupefaction, bafflement, bewilderment, confusion.
Confusion. Go ahead.
Perplexity, incredulity, disbelief, dismay, consternation, speechlessness.
Speechlessness. Go ahead.
Awe.
We are in awe to the nations. Go ahead.
Wonder.
We're a wonder to the nations. Read.
Wonderment.
We're a wonderment to the nations. All right? You can get out of that. Read Deuteronomy 28 and 37 again.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So we became a proverb and a byword, or an epithet, being called outside our God-given name. Negro, African American, black, colored. All right? Mexican, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Haitian, Jamaican, West Indian. These are terms these are byword terms being called outside our God-given name. All right? Now, let's go back to Sirach 19:29.
Sirach chapter 19, verse 29.
Read.
A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance, when thou meetest him.
So you could tell that brother is serious. Go ahead.
A man's attire, and excessive laughter.
So a man's attire, the way he looked, the way he dressed. Go ahead.
And excessive laughter.
Excessive laughter. He's always laughing, always joking around. Now, we all joke and we all, laugh and so forth. But this brother right here, he go up and beyond laughing, up and beyond joking. Go ahead.
And gait.
He a clown. He's foolish. He can't. That's all he do. And then what?
And gait.
Look up gate. Look up the word gate. Look up the word gate.
Gait, a person's manner of walking.
So you could tell a brother, you could tell if he's serious or not by the way he walk. That's the way you carry yourself. Your stride. Some people say your swag. But that goes into your gait, a person's manner of walking. Okay, go back. Read again.
A man's attire, and excessive laughter, and gait show what he is.
It shows what?
What he is.
That shows who you are. What's in your mind? What's in your spirit? That's what. So the way you look, the way you dress, the way you talk, and the way you walk shows what manner of man you are. All right. From there, give me Sirach 13:25. Sirach 13:25.
Sirach chapter 13, verse 25. The heart of a man changeth his countenance, whether it be for good or evil, and a merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance.
Read it again.
The heart of a man changeth his countenance, whether it be for good or evil, and a merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance.
So the mind, the heart goes into your mind. Let's prove that. Give me Jeremiah 17:9. I want to start there first, and then, we go to Mark 7:21.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
So your mind is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? All right. Give me that in Genesis. Genesis 6. I like this one. Genesis 6.
Genesis chapter 6, verse 5.
Read that.
And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart,
Of his what?
of his heart,
Uh-huh.
was only evil continually.
You see that? The imagination and thoughts. Where your thoughts come from? Your mind. So then your imaginations, they come from your mind. So the imagination and thoughts of his heart. All right? Give me Mark now. Give me that Mark 7:21.
Mark chapter 7, verse 21.
So what comes out from your heart? Go ahead. From your mind. Read.
For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts.
What? Read again.
For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts.
So evil thoughts are inside of our minds. Okay, go ahead.
Adulteries.
Adulteries, read.
Fornications.
Read.
Murders. Thefts. Covetousness. Wickedness. Deceit. Lasciviousness. An evil eye. Blasphemy. Pride. Foolishness.
Right. So all these things come from our heart, come from our mind. All right. So these are things we think we think of on a daily basis. We deal with these type of spirits, which are what? Evil thoughts, adulteries, okay, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, okay, deceit, lasciviousness, which is evil sexual lust, porn, for example, an evil eye towards your brother. All right, hate, that goes into hatred. Okay, blasphemy, lying, pride, foolishness. All right, so all these evil things it says come from within and defile the man. All right, from there, give me Galatians. No, I want the first article. Give me Times of India, the article Times of India, real quick. Because remember, now we just read Sirach 19 and 29, and it was speaking about what? The way your character, the way you carry yourself, the way you walk, the way you talk, how you dress. And it said a man may be known by his countenance. Right? Watch this.
Body language projects confidence.
Because everything that was read in Sirach 19:29 was what? Body language. That was body language. Go back to Sirach 19:29 real quick. That was body language.
Sirach.
You ain't talked to the brother yet. You just looking at him. Right? And you picking all this up from his body language. Go ahead.
Sirach chapter 19, verse 29.
Read.
A man may be known by his look,
and
one that hath understanding by his countenance, when thou meetest him.
So you just look. This is you just looking at the brother or looking at the sister. Go ahead.
A man's attire and excessive laughter.
So now go back to the way he dressed. Excessive laughter. Go ahead.
And gait.
And that's the way you walk. Go ahead.
Show what he is.
It shows who you are. Read. That's it?
Yes, sir.
All right, read that.
Communication is one of the important and critical workspace skills. It is required almost
why you didn't read the title?
I'll read it again. Body language.
You read it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Body language projects confidence.
So body language projects confidence. Body language projects confidence. Go ahead. Now, like I said, we are all aspiring to become changed into another man in this truth. All right? Go ahead.
Communication is one of the important and critical workspace skills. It is required almost every time, be it a sales pitch or even a boardroom meeting. People not always listen to what you're trying to say, but also notice the way you're conveying your message to them. Your gestures, posture, your facial expressions, and even eye contact can play a very important role while communicating.
So your gestures, he said people not always listen to what you're trying to say, but also notice the way you're conveying your message to them. That's heavy, because in the streets when we teaching, we got to come with power when we teach. The Bible tells us how to teach. Christ taught with authority. The scriptures tell us to cry aloud and don't spare our people's feelings. So that's heavy that he's saying that people not always listen to what you're trying to say, but also notice the way you're conveying your message to them. People can tell whether you believe or not when we're on the streets teaching. They can tell by the way you teach, whether you're teaching weak or whether we teaching with power. Read on. Read that part again. Read that whole part again.
People not always listen to what you're trying to say, but also notice the way you're conveying your message to them.
Read.
Your gestures.
So your gestures.
Posture.
I know for me, a lot of times when I'm teaching, I like to move. I move my hands around a lot. Go ahead. So your posture, the way you stand. The way you stand can project strength or weakness. The way, according to how you stand, that can tell whether you have confidence or not. Go ahead.
Your facial expressions and even eye contact can play a very important role while communicating.
You see that? Your facial expression, that go back to Sirach 19:29 when he said, from a man's countenance, you could tell whether he have understanding. Okay? So your facial expressions and even eye contact. All right? Even eye contact can play an important role while communicating. All right? So these are things we got to learn to practice. It comes with practice. All right? Read on.
Experts say that humans pay 90% of the attention to body language and the tone of the voice rather than the actual words.
Wow. You see that? So 90% of humans, it says, experts say that humans pay 90% of the attention to body language and the tone of your voice rather than actual words. That's why I can't. Leadership, if you teaching, they say, yo, speak up. Even if we talking to brothers in here, bro, speak up. Yo, speak with your chest. Say it like a man.
Yeah.
Why? Because that goes a long way. Whether you believe or not. Whether you believe what you saying or not. Okay, read on.
In my opinion, I strongly believe that one's body language plays a huge role in projecting confidence.
Right. So whether we teach on the streets or even teaching, right, like in the classroom teachings, or whether you teaching in the school setting. So whether you be in the street, school setting, whether we at seminars, okay, listen, the way we bring it out projects confidence. The way we bring it out projects confidence. And the tone that you come with projects confidence. Give me that. Give me where Christ spoke with authority. That is Mark. Give me Matthew 7:29.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 29.
Read.
For he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes.
Read it again.
For he taught them as one having authority.
So Christ taught as one having authority. As one having authority. That's how Christ taught. Okay? Not as the scribes teaching all, low, docile, and weak. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you where that come from as well later on in the class. I'm going to show you where that docile spirit come from. Because a lot of us have it. We have that. We carry that docile spirit. But like I said, we got to be changed into another man. We got to put off that weak nature. All right? Read it one more time, and then give me Isaiah. No, give me, read that one more time, and then give me Revelation 1, where Christ's voice sound like the multitude of waters.
For he taught them as one having authority,
Uh-huh.
and not as the scribes.
And not as the scribes. Now give me Revelations.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 15.
Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters.
So Christ was a black man. All right? Read the bottom part again.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
And Christ's voice sounded like the sound of many waters.
This is war.
How you think Christ ain't had no mic in the speaker? He didn't have that. But he was reaching out to at least what? Thousands. At one time, they all heard him. We got to get to that level. We got to lift up our voice. We got to lift up our voice.
This is war.
To Christ level. Like the sound of many waters. And teach with authority. All right? Now, from there, give me Isaiah 58. Isaiah 58 and 1.
Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Read. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Israel, and the house of Jacob their sins.
What do you think it means, lift up your voice like a trumpet? A trumpet is loud. So we got to lift up our voice the same way. Only way we be able to do that, we got to be changed into another man. That spirit got to be on us to lift up that voice. If we can't do it, we got to pray for that spirit to be able to go out and teach with authority, with power, to be able to lift our voice up. So we got to put off that weak nature. All right? And what? Project confidence. Because people do what? Like go back to the article. Go back to the article where it says experts say.
Experts say that humans pay 90% of the attention to body language and the tone of the voice rather than the actual words.
And the tone of the voice rather than the actual word. People can tell whether you believe or not. They can tell. Because the way we bringing it out. All right? They can tell. Now, if you got that, if we go up there and teach with that docile and soft spirit, I'm like, yo, this brother, he don't believe. And people start walking away. They start walking away.
Stop it.
Now you're losing spirits now because now you're teaching with that soft spirit. No, we got to come with power and authority when we teach. Okay? Read on.
In my opinion, I strongly believe that one's body language plays a huge role in projecting confidence. When people are confident, they tend to stand up straight.
They tend to what?
Stand up straight.
So I remember when we first started going, as far as myself. Now, remember Captain Joel used to always be like, yo, stand up straight. Because I was hunched over. Just sit kind of like, stand up kind of like, hunched over or whatever. But Cap was like, yo, you got, because holding post, you be holding post, but, you holding post, but you like. So Cap would always get on me, straighten up, stand up straight, poke your chest out. I ain't got much of a chest, but Cap, I try to stand up straight and poke out whatever I had. You understand? But we got to stand out. We got to stand up straight. Keep your head high. It projects confidence. All right, read that part again.
They tend to stand up straight. They have open postures. And they may open their arms and really use the space in which they are standing.
So this is a brother that speak with confidence. Okay, IT, what's happening? This is giving me OHH vibes. Read on. Read it again.
When people are confident, they tend to stand up straight.
So when you're confident, you stand up straight. You're not hunched over. Walking around hunched over, yellow make me sad type brother. You see brothers like that. They walk in, they just hunched over. That's low self-esteem. That's you being little in your own sight. Go ahead. Read on. So stand up straight. Stand up straight. Even when you sit down, sit up straight. Don't sit in the... Yeah, brothers do that. I used to do that. But we got to fix it. We got to be changed into another man. We got to fix it. Go ahead.
They have open postures.
We the greatest people on the earth. There's no reason to hunch your back over no more. Stand up straight. Walk with your head high. We the greatest people on the earth. So we got to act like it. We got to walk like it. Go ahead.
They have open postures. And they may open their arms and really use the space in which they are standing.
Read.
When people have low confidence.
So now when you have low confidence, when you're little in your own sight, so just imagine Saul, right? Saul was taller than most people, but he was little in his own sight. He had low self-esteem. Just imagine you taller than everybody, but you walk around like this all day. Low self-esteem. Yellow make me sad. That looks crazy. That looks crazy. But guess what? The Lord put that spirit on him where it changed him into another man where he could stand up straight with confidence and be king, even though he went off. But in the beginning, the Lord put that spirit on him where he was able to become not a great king. Go ahead.
When people have low confidence, they may tend to cross their arms.
So if you got low confidence, you may tend to cross your arms. Go ahead.
Sit in a hunch.
You sit in a hunch. Sit in a hunch like this. Low. So you can see that spirit on brothers and sisters. That low self-esteem, low confidence. You sit in a hunch. This yellow made me sad. It's looking pitiful, depressed. We got to get out of that. Read
Stop
on.
it.
Cross their legs.
You may cross your legs. Read.
Fiddle or keep their eyes down.
You see that? Fiddle. Look up the word fiddle. Fiddle. Say you may fiddle or keep your eyes down. That's walking. You walking with your head down. Fiddle.
Fiddle.
No. This.
Number two.
Yeah, I figured it'd probably be number 2. Go ahead.
Fiddle. Touch or fidget with something in a restless or nervous way.
Read again.
Touch or fidget with something in a restless or nervous way.
So all right, go to synonyms.
Fidget, play, toy, twiddle, fuss, fool around, trifle, finger, thumb, handle, feel, touch, waste time, act aimlessly, mess around, paw.
So it shows a sign of nervousness. You fiddle, walk with your eyes down. Okay, it shows a sign of like nervousness. All right, go back. Go back.
When people have low confidence, they may tend to cross their arms, sit in a hunch, cross their legs, fiddle, or keep their eyes down.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, various studies show that just practicing standing in a confident posture can affect our mindset and make us feel more confident.
You see that? All you gotta do is practice it. All you gotta do, just like a brother, for example, a brother that's not good at reading. He may admire the great readers in Israel. Okay? And now he wants to become a great reader. You got to practice. You got to go in the mirror and practice. You don't just become a great reader overnight. You got to rehearse over and over and over again. So, for example, to become confident, to project confidence, you got to practice that thing, man. You got to practice standing up straight. I'm still doing it. I'm still practicing standing up straight, walking my head high. Yeah, I'm still doing it. So it don't come overnight. You got to practice it. Read on.
There are many aspects that one can keep in mind in order to look and feel more confident.
Mm.
Some of them are as follows. Make an eye contact. One can easily appear to be confident by making eye contact.
Right. So, like when we shalom brothers, make eye contact. That shows you appear confident. Go ahead. When you just speaking to brothers, make eye contact. That shows that you are confident. Go ahead.
When you're able to maintain eye contact, you're communicating to others that you're honest, approachable, and confident.
Right. So so now brothers, they can see the loyalty in you when you make eye contact. They know that you're honest, approachable, and confident. Now, I'm going to show you the flip side of that. I'm going to show you the flip side of that. We're going to get to that. So here, this shows confidence when you make eye contact with brothers. Go ahead.
Watch your hands. One should be careful about continuously touching their faces or neck, as this may indicate that you're feeling anxious, nervous, or scared.
Right. We was at Camp 101 last week, and we had a brother, one of the new soldiers, we had him teach. This is at Camp 101. So we had him teach, but when he started teaching, I noticed he started playing with his fringes. So I'm looking at him. I'm like, you nervous? I'm like, you nervous? So I asked the other brother, I said, how you know he nervous? So, brother just started answering how they know he was nervous. But one brother's like, yo, he playing with his fringes. I was like, yeah. You see that? Because when you're nervous, your hands start going different places. Read that part again.
Go back up. One should be careful about continuously touching their faces or neck, as this may indicate that you're feeling anxious, nervous, or scared.
Right. So it can, the way you, wherever you put your hands can tell whether you feeling anxious, nervous, or scared. Okay. All right. So like the example I gave about the brother, he was playing around with his fringes. So, but he admitted, like, yeah, I'm nervous. Okay. But just by the way, just by hand movements and so forth, you can tell who's nervous or whether he's scared and so forth. Now, you think brothers on the streets don't pick that up? They see that weakness on you. They see that weakness on us. And when we go out there and brothers is teaching nervous or scared or whatever the case is, people see that. Or they be like, yo, they see that you don't believe. That's just off of body language. All right, read on.
Always avoid your pockets. One should always keep their hands outside of their pockets to look more self-assured and confident.
Right, so they're saying keep your hands outside of your pockets. Now, if it's cold, and put my hand in my pocket.
Right.
I do, you know, we always put our hand in the pocket. You know how we do. All right, but here it's saying one should always keep their hand outside their pockets to look more self-assured or confident. All right, go ahead, read on.
Stand up straight. It is very common that those who have social anxiety tend to take up as little space as possible.
Right, you shrink. You shrink. Your posture shrinks. Right? So it's saying stand up straight. Read on.
And often they end up slouching.
You end up slouching in a chair. You end up slouching. Read.
Which shows their anxiousness.
Which shows anxiousness, nervousness. You scared. Read.
So take a deep breath. Straighten your back. Pull your shoulders away from your ears and uncross your arms and legs.
Excuse me. Right. We don't want to see brothers like this. You know, looking around. It says pull your shoulders from your ears, stand tall, whether you sitting or whatever, stand up straight. Okay, it projects confidence. Go ahead.
Therefore, I would like to conclude by saying that body language plays a major role in communication.
Right, it do. Go ahead.
And confidence is key to success in many areas of our lives.
Read.
Confident people stand out at work, in social situations, and in group settings.
You see that? So when we project that confidence, we stand out. You stand out in your social settings, group settings, all right? You just stand out. Okay? So even in this truth, when we out teaching on the streets, we got to project that confidence on the streets when we're teaching. All right? Then that goes into what? Lifting up our voice, standing up straight. All right? Teaching with power. All right? Watching your hand placements. Okay? You could drop that. Give me Galatians 5:19. And making eye contact. Now, here, making eye contact, right? You see it said when making eye contact, that projects confidence. Now, I'm going to show you the flip side when you don't make eye contact. I'm going to show you what that could possibly mean. Give me Galatians 5:19.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest.
So the works of the flesh are shown. Go ahead.
Which are these? Adultery,
Mm-hmm.
fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
Right. Now, go back. I know you read through the whole thing. Go back to start at verse 19 again. I know you read the whole thing already.
Verse 19.
Read.
Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery.
So adulteries, go ahead.
Fornication.
So fornication is shown through us. Go ahead.
Uncleanness.
Uncleanness, read.
Lasciviousness. Idolatry. Witchcraft.
Read.
Hatred.
So hatred. So these are different spirits that our people that we exhibit that are shown, all right? So hatred, go ahead.
Variance.
Variance, we always competing against one another. Read.
Emulation.
Emulations, copying off one another. Go ahead.
Wrath.
Wrath, angry, mad. Go ahead.
Strife.
Strife, read.
Seditions.
Seditions
Heresies.
and heresies. Go ahead.
Envyings.
Uh-huh.
Murders. Drunkenness. Revelings. And such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
Right. So you should not inherit the kingdom of God. All right. Give me John 3:15. 1 John 3:15. 1 John. And then give me that article. Give me the other article. 8 signs you not that one. Someone secretly resents you. Let me see that. Let me see that article. Yep.
1 John chapter 3, verse 15. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
Now, the spirits that we read about that are shown that in Galatians 5:19. Now, these are spirits, some of these spirits are within, right? So it's not shown, like it's not outward. Like, for example, adultery, that's you see somebody commit adultery. But a spirit like, go back to Galatians 5:19 real quick. I wanna Galatians 5:19 real quick.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which
All
are
right,
these.
go to 19. Read verse 19.
Now the works of the flesh are manifest,
Uh-huh.
which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness.
Now you can see somebody they committed adultery. You see somebody that committed fornication, right? Uncleanness and lasciviousness, right? Read verse 20.
Idolatry,
Uh-huh.
witchcraft, hatred.
Now hatred, that's a spirit that's within, right? That's not readily shown, right? Hatred towards someone, right? That's a spirit that's coming from the mind. Go ahead.
Variance, emulation,
Competition. You know somebody competing against you, right? Go ahead.
emulation,
Emulations,
wrath,
wrath.
strife,
Uh-huh.
seditions, heresies, envyings.
So envyings come from, that's within. Okay, that spirit is also, it's like, meaning what? Those spirits are hidden spirits, right? Hatred and envyings. Those are spirits that are hidden. But you can see somebody that commit, all right, that brother committed adultery, that sister committed adultery, or that brother committed fornication, okay? But that hatred and envying, that jealousy spirit, you can only hide that but for some time. But it will come out of you. Okay? Now, give me 1 John.
1 John chapter 3, verse 15. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
Is a what?
Is a murderer.
So Christ said, whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. The moment you start hating on a brother, you a murderer. You're already a murderer. Why? Because it starts here. The hatred starts here. And no matter how hard you try to hide it, it will come out. That hatred will come out. Now, watch this. Give me that article real quick. Read that. I'm gonna show you something. Remember by eye contact. Remember the last article said that eye contact, when you make eye contact with someone, it projects confidence. They can see it shows loyalty, honesty. It shows that you're approachable, right? Watch this.
8 body language signs that indicate someone secretly resents you.
So this is 8 body language signs that indicate someone secretly resents you. Someone secretly hates you. Why are they saying secretly? Because that's a hidden spirit. All right, it's a hidden spirit, right? Watch this.
When someone smiles, you assume they're happy.
So when someone smiles at you, you assume they happy, right? Go ahead.
When someone frowns, you think they're upset.
Right, somebody frowning, you think they're upset. You like, damn, brother upset. Go ahead.
But human interaction isn't always that simple. You see, body language can be a subtle yet powerful communicator of hidden feelings.
You see that? Body language. Go back. No. You see, body language can be a subtle yet powerful communicator of hidden feelings. Remember, Sirach 19:29, he said, from a man's countenance, okay, you can see he has understanding. You can see, so like leadership can tell different spirits on brothers. Leadership can just look at you, all right, and be like, yo, that brother dealing with this, he dealing with that. Okay, the bishops, the deacons, the captains, they can look at you and be like, yo, that brother dealing, yo, brother got spirits on him. So if you see leadership say a brother got spirits on him, this is what it's going into. Like that brother got spirits on him. Right? Go ahead, watch this.
Imagine being able to spot resentment from a mile away.
So it says, imagine being able to spot resentment from a mile away. From a mile away, you could tell a brother secretly hates you. From a mile away, you could tell a sister secretly hates another sister or secretly hates a brother. Now, a lot of these spirits, they come from the women's side. A lot of those spirits come from the women's side. Okay? But it's on brothers as well. All right, read on.
Just by observing one's body language. Well, that's what I'm here to help you with. I've identified 8 key signs that indicate concealed resentment. Sit back.
Concealed resentment. They hiding it. They is hiding that thing. Go ahead.
Sit back and let's dive into this less obvious world of human communication. Avoidance of eye contact.
This is number 1. Avoidance of eye contact. Go ahead.
Eye contact is a powerful aspect of human connection.
Mm-hmm.
When someone is genuinely interested in you and what you have to say, they maintain eye contact.
Right. They maintain eye contact if someone is interested in what you're talking about. Right? Go ahead.
It's a silent way of showing respect and understanding.
Uh-huh.
However,
so eye contact goes a long way. Read.
However, when someone secretly resents you, their eyes often tell the tale.
Damn. So if someone secretly hates you, the eyes, you can tell through the eyes. Go ahead.
They avoid meeting your gaze.
They avoid what?
Meeting your gaze.
They avoid meeting your gaze. Go ahead.
Darting their eyes elsewhere.
So they start darting their eyes all over the place. Right? Like, damn, what's wrong with this brother? Go ahead.
Or even looking past you.
Or they look directly past you. But anything to avoid making eye contact. Go ahead.
This avoidance of eye contact isn't just uncomfortable to experience. It's a clear sign that something is off.
Like, damn, something off. You never notice something off with brother. What's going on with this brother? Read.
Next time, if you notice someone consistently avoiding your gaze, it could be more than just shyness or distraction.
Why? Because sometimes it could be it could be the brother timid, he's shy. Okay, so that could be one aspect of it. But if you know the brother ain't shy, and he, like, dang, that brother ain't shy, that sister ain't shy, but they just avoiding your eye contact and so forth, read on.
They might be harboring some hidden resentment.
It might be a hidden hatred for you, for a brother, or a hidden hatred for a sister. Okay? So one of them is avoiding eye contact. All right, that's how important eye contact is. All right, go ahead.
Number 2, crossed arms. A posture can say a lot about a person's emotions. In crossed arms, they're like a billboard screaming discomfort or disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this one time at a team meeting where my colleague, let's call him Mark, would always cross his arms whenever I was presenting. At first, I thought he was just cold or maybe it was his default posture. But as time went on, I noticed this behavior only seemed to occur when I was the one speaking. Upon confronting Mark privately about this, it turned out he had been harboring resentment over a project allocation decision I had made earlier. Next time you see someone consistently crossing their arms when around you, it might not be the room temperature they're reacting to.
So he said, next time you see somebody crossing their arms when they're around you, it might not be the room temperature because you think, like, damn, it's cold in here, right? Go ahead.
It could be an unspoken sign of resentment.
Right. It could be an unspoken sign of resentment. Brother just crossing his arm when you're talking, like, here he comes. That could be a sign of resentment. Go ahead.
Number 3, short and
I don't want all of these. Go down. Let me see what else. A forced smile. You forcing that thing. Read that. Go back to forced smile. Let me see that.
Forced smile, number 4. Smiles are universally recognized as a sign of happiness, warmth, and welcome, but not all smiles are created equal. When someone genuinely smiles at you, the corners of their eyes crinkle. This is known as the Duchenne smile, named after the French neurologist who first described it.
Read.
On the other hand, when someone secretly resents you, their smile may seem forced and unnatural. Their eyes remain.
So it says on the other hand, when someone secretly resents you, their smile may seem forced and unnatural. You can tell that's not a genuine smile. This smile right here is being forced. Go ahead.
Their eyes remain unengaged, and the mouth might stretch too wide or not wide enough. If you notice a smile that doesn't quite reach the eyes or seems slightly off, it could be a sign that the person is masking their true feelings, potentially resentment.
Right. Go down. Let me see if I want any more. Let me see bodies. Go up. Let me see that. Go up. Let me see body turned away from you.
Number 5, body turned away from you. Have you ever tried to have a conversation with someone who's not fully facing you? It feels awkward, right? That's because unconsciously we expect people to turn their bodies toward us when they're engaged in a conversation.
Right. So look, some of us may do these things, but guess what? We got to come out of this. We got to come out of doing these things, man. We got to be changed into another man. All right. Some of them may exhibit these type of spirits that may be on us. But we got to repent and get rid of these things. Go ahead.
It's a nonverbal cue of attention and interest.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that when someone
is... Let me say this. Some of us may be doing these things unknowingly. Some of us may be doing it knowingly, like, harboring resentment and so forth. So these things are coming out of you because of resentment, of hatred for a brother, for a sister. All right? And sometimes you may just be doing, these are certain things you may be like, damn, I do that. Oh, man, I do that too. You may be doing it unknowingly, but we got to fix it. All right? We got to fix it. Go ahead.
I've noticed that when someone is harboring resentment, they tend to turn their body away, even when they're talking to you. It's as if they're trying to create a physical distance to match the emotional one.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this one time at a family gathering.
Hey, and like I said, a lot of women, a lot of these different spirits and so forth, women do these. Women do these things because they're emotional. So this comes from the women's side. All right, but brothers do it as well. Go ahead.
I remember this one time at a family gathering, my cousin kept her body turned away from me throughout our conversation. I couldn't understand why until later on I found out she was upset about a comment I had made earlier. If someone consistently positions their body away from you during interactions, it might be a sign of hidden resentment.
Right. Hey, look, Philly, we joke around a lot. We joke with brothers, right? We joke with brothers. We get on brothers. And, so if we joking on brothers or whatever, and then now that brother, he feels some type of way, you can tell if a brother feels some type of way by it, that his body language. Brother don't want to talk. He showing forced smiles. He avoiding your eye contact. He go up and see this one. Go up and see this one. Yeah, his body turned away from you and so forth. All right. So we got to be careful of these spirits that we exhibit. All right, we got to be careful. Be mindful. Be mindful.
What is the nation?
Nation is men leading by example.